Hi, my name is Louise and my channel is Spiral Bright Insight. I hope you like the background. I couldn't resist it today because I basically wanted to do a video to talk to you about the Blue Ray. And we can call them Blue Ray Soul Group, or we can call it the Blue Ray frequency. But it is a frequency that I resonate with and align with very strongly. And I've been sort of learning about it over the past few years. But I just wanted to come on and basically share what I have discovered and how and why I relate to it so strongly. So in case you have not come across me before, I am a Galactic Astrologer and certified quantum soul practitioner. So I have worked with Julia Balaz, and I offer readings to people. Generally, the people or clients who are coming to see me are already know or feel that they are starseeds, and I am able to through using their birth chart, unlock information about which star systems they are very closely connected to, and where they might have had lifetimes on before. So it is amazing work, and yeah, absolutely loving it. But for today, the Blue Rays. So like I've said, it is some people call them a group of souls. I also really like to think of it as a frequency because as starseeds, and I resonate as a starseed myself, I feel that we are bringing through a certain vibration which is needed on the earth at this time. So the Blue Rays, nobody appears to know where they have originally sort of come from, or where they are, where they belong, so to speak. I think it's safe to say that they are definitely from another sort of part of the universe, or another universe entirely. And it's, if you are sort of coming through as a Blue Ray, that can give you a sense of not really feeling that you sort of have a home to go back to, or that you don't really belong anywhere in particular. So they are so yeah, they're not from anywhere specific, but they use stargates and portals and are extremely good intergalactic travelers. So they have been far and wide, and they are bringing in this very specific and beautiful frequency wherever they go. So Blue Rays generally have, obviously, they resonate with the color blue, which is all about communication and the throat chakra. They're also very closely aligned to Archangel Michael, who is all about protection, justice, yeah, they tended to arrive into Earth sort of in the, I would say, 1960s, 1970s and 1980s. So the majority Blue Ray souls are likely to be currently, and I'm recording this in 2022, in their 40s, 50s and 60s. So for me, I am nearly 50, and I definitely feel that I'm part of this group. They came in to really infiltrate the system. So if you're a Blue Ray, you're going to feel very strongly that you have got a mission, although I would say quite often it can be really hard to identify and really pin down what that is, but it's a very strong sense. And certainly so from my early 20s, I would sort of say to myself, I've got a really important mission to do here, but I didn't know what it was. And that can cause a lot of frustration. But it is about, there's work to do in the human form, or as a human, before you sort of start to activate your mission. And I speak from experience. So Blue Rays tend to, not every time, but they tend to come into families where there's a lot of karma or ancestral healing that needs to be done. And that is basically because they are here to transmute that healing and ancestral karma for the families and the generations of people that have come before them. They're incredibly good at transmuting energy. They can spot toxic energy a mile off, and often they will be transmuting energy without actually realizing it. So it's almost like at an unconscious level. They are very good at sort of adapting and morphing their energy because they're very empathic and they can't sort of feel into situations. They will adjust and adapt their energy to suit where they are and the people that they're with. And that can go as far as taking on the traits, or even I found when I was younger that I would start copying people's accents when I was talking to them, and sort of my voice would change. So yeah, it's a bit strange, but it's just something that happens. Sort of shape shifting, that sort of ability, but more in an energetic way rather than how you actually look. Blue Ray Souls are incredibly intuitive. They're very psychic. They are very empathic. So they can really pick up on what's going on around them. And if you're looking at astrology and the charts of Blue Rays, they're likely to have a lot of water and a lot of earth in their chart. Okay, because they came into families where, you know, there were maybe issues, you know, and pain and heat and trauma that needed to be transmuted, they can feel that they don't fit in, which is a really key theme. It's actually common for a lot of starseeds, because actually, newsflash, you don't, you are different. But it can lead to feeling very disempowered. A lot of Blue Rays, I would say, and I speak for myself, experience bullying when they're younger because they can't step into their power, and other people, because they're shining very brightly, other people see that and want to, you know, stamp down on it. So it can you can feel very controlled and very sort of unable to take the lead in earlier in your life. I've already talked about the empathy. So yeah, huge and high level of sensitivity, which doesn't just relate to the energies. It's also sensitive to noise, sensitive to strong smells, sensitive to medication and drugs, sensitive to certain foods and products. You know, you might find as a Blue Ray that, you know, you can't use very strong perfumes or very strong toiletry products and beauty products, because your body just does not, doesn't get along with it at all. So that can cause problems with digestion, with skin, yeah, all sorts of sort of physical ailments can come as a result, because, you know, there is an incompatibility with the energy here to where you are most aligned with, and that can show up in various physical ways as well. So you may find as a Blue Ray that you find animals are very drawn to you, and also children, because children, you know, can see through, you know, children don't have any filter. So you may find that babies in particular like can be absolutely mesmerized, and I've certainly found that in the past. You may also find that you attract a lot of spirits or entities or lost souls to your aura and to your being. Certainly when I speak for myself, I can clear energy, and you know, I often find I have to clear energy of, you know, spirits or entities that have attached themselves to me. So yeah, that can happen quite a lot. With the Blue Ray, it's very similar to the indigo energy, and if you know, if you're into this sort of work and information, you will have heard of the Indigo Souls. So while they've obviously got a lot of indigo and blue in their aura, I would say the Blue Rays aren't as militant or as warrior-like as the indigos. We know that the indigos are system busters. They came in to change the system and break things down and be the start of that process. But the Blue Rays tend to, they feel very strongly about corruption and injustice, and, you know, what is going on in the world that needs to be redressed and undressed, but they are much more reserved and much more quiet and prefer to sort of stand behind the scenes. They certainly are unlikely to be, you know, the ones in the protests with the placards shouting out. They are much more about sort of working behind the scenes, and they much prefer to stay hidden, and they more than likely conceal their true selves, which I can, say I can speak for. That's certainly true in my case. So talents, we've already talked about the empathy, the ability to transmute energy, incredibly gifted at communication and expression, and also they're, you know, fascinated with wisdom and knowledge, and they just never want to stop learning. They always want to absorb and find out more. They have access through their sort of more psychic, you know, in their contact with their higher self. They have access to very high frequency and sacred knowledge, which, you know, is can be activated at any point. They are very much wanting to help. So service is really, really important, and they want to basically fix people. If they see that people are unhappy, they feel that, and they want to change that and make, you know, try and address it. It can lead to being a little bit of a people pleaser, which, you know, isn't always great, and it can also mean that they struggle with having boundaries. Especially, you know, being able to feel energy, it can be a bit tricky. I've already said they're very good with words, they're very gentle energy, they're very loyal, and they have a strong link to Lemuria and are likely to have had lifetimes there. They are very persistent and won't give up very easily. And also very courageous, because, you know, it ain't easy coming in with that kind of frequency of energy into a 3D world where you don't really feel that you fit in, but you have to, and you have to try. So the Blue Rays are very good at holding space for others. So they may find that other people, you know, share their problems with them without even being invited to do so. They also have no judgment, which is really important, because you know, sometimes light workers do, and they are able to an extent sort of transcend the polarity, and, you know, oh, you're different from me. That's not an issue with Blue Rays, because they know that nobody is separate, that we're all linked and we're all connected. And so there is a great sort of understanding and respect, I guess, for each soul and the path that each soul has chosen. So, you know, they don't look at maybe a lower vibrational soul and think, oh, you know, there is no judgment there, basically. So they are here to heal. They're also here to reveal and expose truths, and they're here to teach. They're here to inspire and encourage others. And they are here to remember who they are and who we are, which really is the most important thing and mission of all. So in a chart, I obviously, when I'm doing a reading, I will look at the soul origin, and sometimes, and also the soul color, and quite often the blue and the Blue Ray will come up there. But there are other markers. So Alpha Centauri is closely aligned with the Blue Ray. Also Nihal in Lepus, that is always a really strong marker, and Aldebaran that fixed star, the royal star, is very closely linked to Archangel Michael. So again, that is also a marker that you may have the Blue Ray in your chart. But certainly, you know, if you've listened this far and what I'm saying resonates with you, then chances are that, yes, you are a Blue Ray. And yeah, how amazing is that? If you want to find out more, if you're interested in having a reading, or you know, want to find out about your galactic links, connections and lineage, then I do offer readings, so please do get in touch. I've got a website, it is spiralbright.co.uk, and all the information is on there. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope it was useful, and I look forward to sharing information about other star systems and frequencies and soul groups with you very soon. Thank you.